In today's episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast, we're recording with Ant Wright, and no, we're not going to continue to allow him to troll and make this last longer than it needs to go. We'll talk about the NBA draft, who's the best prospect for the Pistons, and then also answer some questions. All that in today's episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. Per usual, I'm your host, Kuka Hill. You can find me over on Twitter at Kuka Hill. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. Free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. And today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster and easier. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I want to open up this episode by saying, obviously, we are joined by Ant Wright. He has joined every offseason so far since I've taken over Locked On Pistons to talk about the draft. We're going to be looking forward to today's episode. Real quickly, I want to say two things before we get started. First off, I want to let you guys know that Ant trolled me for like 20 minutes before. Like, we've been sitting here ready to record, and he's been trolling me for 20 minutes. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, you guys can see him wearing this big ass hat. I don't know what he's doing, but he's trolling to get to start it off. That's one. And then two, in the last episode I recorded, breaking down the Pistons, my instant reaction to the Pistons hiring Trajan Langdon to be in their president basketball operation. Trajan?
Yeah, it's Trajan.
Trajan.
You've been calling this man Trajan the last two.
Yeah. It's Trajan? I didn't watch college basketball, bro.
It's Trajan Langdon. But he played with the Cavs.
Trajan Langdon.
Trajan.
I was like 5 years old. All right, so Trajan Langdon as the Pistons president basketball operations. I said at the end of that episode that to watch the BI to the Pistons stuff, I hate instant reaction episodes because I don't get all the information I need and talk to the people I need before I have to put it out. But I just want to say, I want to correct something I said in the last episode. All I want to say right now is to temper those expectations. The exact opposite of what I said in the last episode. Temper those expectations. That's all I'll say for right now when it comes to BI to the Pistons. But now that I've got that out the way, let's get into this episode. Ant, appreciate you coming on, all trolling aside.
Can I say something right quick?
Okay, God, go ahead, bro.
Shout out to LinkedIn Jobs though, for sure though. Shout out to LinkedIn. Dog, I put out, because if you don't know, I launched a website with the Dunk Central. And we got a couple of great editors because I went on to LinkedIn and I put out a hey, we have a job for 2 editors. We got 488 applications, which was super dope. So yeah, LinkedIn Jobs is dope. And they gave me 3 free days to boost, which was crazy. It went from like 20 to like 300 within like a day. It was pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
There you go. That LinkedIn Jobs, man.
I did not get paid for this, bro. Did not get paid for that. He said LinkedIn. I was like, yo, LinkedIn came through for your brother.
Hey, bro, there you go. All right, so let's get into the draft. 3.5 minutes into it, Nick's gonna kill me, bro. 3.5 minutes into it, let's talk about the draft finally. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is, and I don't watch college basketball a lot until it's the off season. I don't watch G League. I don't watch overseas stuff. But all I've heard for the last year, and it's been picking up over the last month, is that this draft is weak. I've seen people call it the weakest draft in like the last decade. So I want to ask you, as someone who follows this stuff as their career, how weak is this draft?
I've been very vocal about this draft the last 2 years in terms of being one of, if not the weakest draft that we've ever seen. But I do want to give some context to it, where depends on what you're looking for. Because if you're looking for, a franchise player, there's not a lot here. There's maybe 1 or 2 guys where like, you know what? Maybe if you really squint, maybe. But there's going to be a lot of I think this is going to be one of the deeper drafts for rotation guys that can play a long time, if that makes sense. You're not going to find many option ones for a good franchise team here, but you can find there's a lot, but you have to have a front office who can really identify. If you don't have a front office who really knows what they're looking at, you're going to struggle in this draft. And you got to really know. And there's a lot of non-ball dominant prospects in this draft, especially in the lottery. And that's one thing that you usually don't see. You usually see bucket getters. You see guys who do so much with the basketball, right? And that's how they operate. They operate with the ball in their hands. And looking back on drafts, it's like, you know what? A lot of those guys who are so ball dominant, they don't really do well in the NBA because they don't know how to play off the ball, because there's guys better than them who are going to be options 1, 2, and 3, right? That's why I think someone like Bouknight struggled, right? And I was low on him because of that reason. I was like, hey, he's good on the ball, but I don't think he's that level on the ball in the league, right? It's two different things. And I think there's a lot of players, especially in this lottery, that are off ball. They've played secondary options pretty much for a big part of their time. If you're looking at guys like, the only one really who I'm like, hey, look, this dude is an on-ball guy. He can play off ball, but he's an on-ball guy, and he could probably excel as an on-ball guy in the league, is Rob Dillingham. That's it. And everybody outside of that is a secondary type of player, and they're going to have to impact the game in more ways than just being able to score the ball.
So later on in the next segment, we'll talk about who you believe potentially to be some of the best prospect or some of the best prospects for the Pistons at 5. But without going into that and revealing your hand yet, I think that the biggest question, one of the biggest questions now that they have a president of basketball operations as of like an hour ago, is going to be, okay, I want everyone to know, for everyone watching YouTube, Ant told me before the podcast that every 10 minutes he was going to change the hat that he's wearing. So now you see him with a different, this dude. Anyways, one of the biggest questions for the team is, will they keep the 5th pick or trade it? So again, without going and revealing your hand for the second segment for the prospects you think the Pistons should go after, I want to ask you, do you think the Pistons, if you were the Pistons, do you think they should hold on to this pick because with the prospects that would be there in your opinion? Or do you think this is the draft where they should look to get off this pick?
I think you could try to move this pick up or down, honestly. That comes back to identifying, right? You got to be able to identify who you want. If there's somebody there sitting at who you know you can get at 15 or 16, move back. If there's someone that you want at number 2, move up and get them. Just do it. And this is that draft where doesn't matter where guys are picked. I cannot wait to see this redraft in like 3 years. You're going to see some undrafted, some second round dudes up in the top 15, I think. And it's that type of draft, man. And it's that type of draft where like the position that they play matters, but where they get drafted matters too. And I think that matters so much, bro. That matters so much. And I think that they have a plethora of options here. I think that there are guys in their range that I think could help them. At the same time, there are guys in their range where I'm like, if you do this, you better do this the right way, or that's going to be another wasted draft pick. And we've seen the Pistons have a lot of those. Or you draft a guy at 5.
Can I interrupt real quick and ask you something?
Go ahead.
I want to ask you this real quick. Based off what you're saying, I want to see if I'm like understanding exactly what you're saying. Because this is what I'm hearing. It sounds like because of the way. What do you say?
No, go ahead.
Because of how the draft is, it sounds like to me what I'm hearing is you need to identify somebody, and whoever that person is you identify, you then go to wherever you think they're going to get drafted. So because of this draft being so all over the place, if you identify someone that's going to be there at 3, and not gonna make it to 5, go get him at 3. If you identify a guy that you know will be there at 12, then fall back and wait until 12. You need to go find your guy because it's going to be all over the place. So you need to scout and you need to find your guy that you believe in this week of a draft, and then do whatever you can to get that guy that you've identified. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I think this is still a deep rotational draft. I think that there's going to be a lot of guys here who I think are going to give a lot of second teams like really good run in that second group. There are some first group guys who I think could be very good on good teams, but I think this draft has a lot of guys that are in that like 8-9 slot in the rotation, 7-8-9 slot, who can pop up and start a game if guys are out and hit you for 20-25 and then go back to their 7-8-9 role. You know, there are a lot of guys like that. But if you can identify who those guys are, and those guys who you actually believe in, like I hate people who draft someone and then completely mess up their game because you're putting in the situations that just don't make sense. You know, like if you're gonna go get this guy, have him come and do what he does great. Don't pigeonhole him into something that he just doesn't do. Like now you not only wasted his talent, you wasted a pick, and it's just a waste of everybody's time.
All right, so let's go ahead and move in. When we come back, we'll move into who Ant believes to be the best prospect or prospects for the Pistons if they hold on to their pick at 5. We'll talk about that when we come back. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easier and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats, like my guy Ant here, obviously, and might not have the time or resources to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnba to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply at linkedinjobs.com. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We're free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review wherever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. So, and I want to let you know that as of this recording on the 23rd, I've only done one of my, I think last year when I had you, I already went through all the prospects and I settled it on Assar as my guy. At this point, when I'm recording with you, I've only went and looked at and done an episode over Matas. That's the only one, Matas Buzelis. He's the only one I've watched and taken notes and did an episode on. So that's where my knowledge level is. That's all that is. This will give you my knowledge level on this draft so far.
Speaking of Assar, was I lying about him?
Oh God,
was I lying about him? You had them OTE boys coming. You had them OTE boys on them show. Do they still exist? Because I can't seem to find them in my mentions anymore. I can't seem to find them.
And this is what I'll
say.
Do they
exist still?
I still very much like Assar. I think Assar.
I like Assar too. But as soon as I said that he can't shoot, they're like, "Well, you don't even know." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, bro, like, look, he is a next level NBA athlete. We know that. We know he's got that motor. We know he's got those tools. Dude can't shoot. And when it comes, it's not those things where, like, you know, he doesn't make a lot of threes. It's NBA teams don't even guard him. And you know this. Like, Cade is coming off a pick and roll on the other side of the court. Assar's man is like double teaming. Like, what are we doing here, bro? You know what I mean? But they have this. Like, no, because you have my man's coming on here talking funny. So you can invite him back and you can tell him, invite me on here I'm further smoke. Is he here still? You could like shoot him a DM, right? Like, hey, look, brother, like, what's up? What'd he do? You feel me? Anyways, Assar's a good player. I like Assar, but I was right about him, which is he can be a really good NBA player, and I'm really down to watch him grow and all that. But the shooting's not translating. It needs to start translating, or he's just unplayable to me, bro.
All right, so I mean,
anyways,
I guess I'll say what I was going to say is like you said earlier, kind of about the making them do something that they can't do. If I told you that the most used play type for Assar this past year was spot ups at 190 possessions,
because the closest defender was 20 feet from him.
What if I told you that? Actually, no. We're gonna end up going all different off the rails if I keep going with this. All I'm gonna say is
always 20 feet from him, just playing rover, like Jackie Moon playing rover. It's the same thing, bro. Like his defender, I got Assar. You know that you can double team, do whatever you want, and you're doing the right thing.
All I'm gonna say is that
I'm still high on Assar, though. I will say I'm saying all that. I'm still high on him. If he can get his threes to just like, man, wide open, unguarded. If he can shoot at like 32, 33%, wide open, unguarded, right? 32, 33. Like you're talking about, like, man, tough.
All I'll say is maybe the best use of him was not putting him in the corner and asking him to shoot corner threes. But okay, let's just
run him as the 5.
I mean, when they ran pick and rolls with them and inverted pick and rolls, it looked really good with spacing around him. That's why having spacing 5 next to him dominated. But they decided to get rid of all of them.
Or just give him the ball.
Right?
Get him downhill. Get him downhill within 12 feet. All he's got to do is get to 12 feet and just jump.
I mean,
he's at the rim.
This is something I've said many times, but like I said, you're gonna get me going into.
Sorry, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like I just looked at Locked On Pistons, and I got a little bit of PTSD seeing you have some dude from some clown from OTE talking this and that. So. Sorry.
I just want everyone to know this is Ant's message. This is not
cool. Didn't you tell me to, dog? Look, you told me to like address this. Don't even bring up the text.
What's the best prospect for the Pistons at 5, bro? Let's get back on topic, dog. Who's the best? Who do you think's the best prospect for the Pistons at 5 is?
Let's play a game because I got some notes here. I got some real brief notes. Let's play a game. You give me a name who can fall around 5, and then I'll let you know if I got some notes on him.
All right. Okay, let's start with Matas, since that's the one I went.
Matas. Here are my notes on him. He has vibes of like Grady Dick. But he's an asshole. And I said, in a draft with a bunch of quiet personalities, being an asshole is a positive. But his jumper has to translate, though. That's where I'm at with him. I do think that having a mentality that he does, I know that he had called out Rizichet before, like to the media, saying that, hey, look, come check me type of stuff. I kind of like that. Whether that's correct conduct or not is, you can argue, but I think there's a lot of quiet guys on that Pistons team, except my mans who try to fight Braun. It's big stew, but I don't think there's enough, not enough dickheads on the team. Right. I think there's a lot of nice guys, quiet guys. Cade comes off very quiet. He's not going to chirp. Right. Ivy's the same way. Who is that guy for y'all in the rotation? You don't have a lot of those types who are going to mix it up a little bit, right? You don't have like a Pat Bev who's going to mix it up just to do it. That stuff matters. I don't think you can be terrible and quiet, right? Like you gotta have a little bit of seasoning, bro. And I think his mentality is something that is very intriguing. Kind of like how I was high on Chet Holmgren, and the only reason I was high on Chet was I saw what he can do, but his mentality. I remember when he was a senior, he flew all over the country that fall. No one when the pandemic was going and nobody could do anything. Him and his boys from Minnesota, they flew and played at Snoop's little backyard gym and played Peyton Watson out there. He went and played Amani Bates on ESPN. I'm pretty sure he played Paolo, and he was out there trying to get the smoke with whoever it was that whole fall. And I'm that mentality right there is going to carry him, So I'm not saying he has the same mentality as Chet, but you got to have a little bit more juice. You got to have a little something to you. Everything can't be sweet.
All right. So what if so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say the top four goes this way and the Pistons have 5. Let's say it goes Sar goes 1. Rishasay goes, I think I said his name right, but I'm not sure. The Wizards go ahead. Goes to the Wizards at 2.
Rishasay is like a low testosterone Michael Porter Jr.
Okay, let's move on. Shepherd at 3, and then Topic at 4. Who do you think the Pistons take?
Topic's so mid too, bro. Okay, you said Sar, Rishasay, Shepherd, who else?
Topic.
Ooh, man, you got some. You have some options. Just between me and you. Me and you.
I was gonna say it's not me and you. It's me, you, and everyone who's listening. Go ahead.
I forgot. Cool got the views. I'm gonna start calling you View Khalil.
All right, come on.
No, but I don't know, bro. Because
you don't get to check out.
I know. I think Rob Dillingham is he's my number 2 prospect. Sar's number 1 for me, but I think Dillingham was my number 2 prospect. I like Dalton Connect. My notes for him are a high testosterone Nick Stauskas. And that's no disrespect to Nick, but they didn't treat him right in the league. What made him these good?
Notes? What's up with the testosterone? You've said that in 3 different players' notes. Why is that the first thing you write down?
It's funny because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's
I get what you're saying, but damn.
But I mean, look though. But I think Nick fell victim to what I was talking about earlier, where guys need to land certain places. What made Nick good was when he had the ball. They turned him into a corner 3 guy. That's not what made him good. That's not what got him to be a prospect. That's not what made him a lottery guy. If you take Dalton Connect, you cannot turn him to a corner 3. You've got to Dante DiVincenzo him. You got to let him do what he does. I like Dalton Connect. I like Rob Dillingham. I think if you do get Rob, kind of sucks to say because I'm a big Ivy guy. I think you try to package and move Ivy for another piece, preferably a wing. How do you feel about Stephon Castle? I think Stephon Castle, if my only issue with Stephon Castle is for Detroit is that it's going to be really hard to really hard to understand drafting back-to-back wings who struggle shooting. Stephon Castle's jump shot can translate, though. When I saw Assar shoot, I'm at my office desk and I'm, ducking, while, watching him shoot the ball. Stephon Castle, I've seen traits of him being a decent shooter. He really struggled shooting early on this year for UConn, and he just got better and better and better. And a part of that is probably coming off of his injury, just getting used to that pace and the speed of the game and everything. But by the end of the year, he was shooting at a much higher clip, probably like mid 30%. And I like him from a standpoint of you are going to get a high-level defender. And I think if he's someone you can't just leave, because I think he's going to hit the unguarded three. I think he's going to hit that corner shot. I think he's the best 3-and-D wing that's going to be available here in this draft. Especially like down the stretch, you have him and like Cade in the game and Assar. Jesus Christ. Like you're talking about all these dudes 6'6", 6'7", and Stephon Castle's a big 6'6", 6'7". Like he's a big dude. Like he's I don't know how much he is. He's probably 215, 220. And, true freshman. I think that will be an interesting pick for sure.
All right, so yeah. I want to get to the mailbag. So I'm going to force your hand here because I want to have enough time for the mailbag to get you these questions I've been wanting to ask you.
Oh, it's all good.
So now, no, come on, bro. Chill out with the hat, bro. All right. Who are you picking? You have to say a name. You have 5, you have 10 seconds. Who are you picking at 5?
Who am I picking at 5?
If in that order I gave you the 4 people that were gone, who are you picking?
Golly, man. Put me on the spot. It's either Dalton, Rob, or Stephon, man.
No, you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
I'm probably not going to pick Dalton because I don't think he will fit well there. I would probably go. I think Rob Dillingham may end up as the best player in this draft, but I think for this team, I wouldn't mind Stephon Castle.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. All right, next segment coming back. You guys sent in a bunch of questions that you guys wanted answered by Ant. So when we come back, we'll answer all those questions. Stay tuned for that when we come back. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you'll get your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guarantee Fit only available to U.S. customers at ebaymotors.com. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. Hit that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. All right.
They got rims too on the eBay Motors, bro. I'm looking at it right now. They got rims, brother. They got rims.
You're doing free promotion, bro. You know that, right?
Well, what you mean free promotion? I need some new rims on my truck. What you mean? Yo, you giving me free advice right now, brother? What you mean? I'm winning right now. What you mean? It's not my fault. You got some good partners.
Yeah, we be doing it over here at Locked On.
Yeah, you're doing it up.
You be knowing it. All right, let's get to some of these questions. All right, so first one.
Answer the questions. I'm nervous. Are you nervous, Koo?
I'm not answering any of these. This is for you, man. I'm not. I answer questions 5 days a week. This is your turn, buddy.
Hey, I'm
I don't get a day
off. I'm changing your name, bro, in my phone to View Khalil because you be out here getting that traffic.
Come on, bro. First question right here. First question right here. This one's on Twitter from Detroit Pistons. Says, since the Big Ten is your specialty, why isn't Khalil Ware more valued in this draft?
I think there's still some lingering questions about his motor. Does he really love the game? I can see him as like a Jared Allen type, and I think he has more in his bag than what he showed this last season. It's just one of those things where you really don't know what people are thinking until draft night. You can't really base what teams are thinking about based off of people's big boards. I think Ware, like, I wouldn't be shocked if he messes around getting in the 20-25 range. Also won't be shocked if he messes around, goes in like the 30s. Depends on how his workouts go. I think he's proven that, he's willing to work. Because he had a bad rap last year and into last summer where he was coming in as a first round pick, and then next thing you know, Dana Altman, had him like not playing a lot, and you could tell that Ware just really wasn't into it, and it just killed his stock. And then he went to Indiana, and then just he played so much better and answered so many questions. But I think that people still remember what happened at Oregon. And that being said, it's just, bigs are hit and miss because you're in a game that's very, very wing and guard dominated, and you got to be a certain type of big, and you have to go to the right team. And there are a few bigs in this draft this is not a bad big draft. It's pretty decent. Like I like Klingon, I like Sar. There's some guys in this draft who are very, very solid. And when it comes to Ware, which is one of those things where it's you really don't know where someone is until draft night. So depends on who likes him. And I'm sorry if that's kind of a roundabout answer, but there's a lot there with Ware that's not just about on the court. I think there's some things off the court, and you gotta truly believe that someone is really invested into getting better, because it's not about that first contract. It's about what is this person going to be there for that second, or is he going to slowly weed himself out the league? And if that's the case, that's a wasted draft pick. So,
all right,
I'm on board with Ware though. I do like Ware.
All right, so next one is from AM on Twitter. He says, should we, I'm assuming when they say we, it means the Pistons. AI does. Later on, it clarifies. But should we be drafting potential at 5, regardless of position, like Dillingham or Holland, or should we be drafting proven products with less potential, but that we know will fit, like Dalton Castle?
I like how one is proven and one is, what's the other one he used?
The other one is drafting potential or less potential but proven.
Why is potential and proven? Why is Castle and Dillingham in different categories? That doesn't make any sense to me. But I would say that Pistons are not one draft pick away. They are so far away. They're closer to the W than in the NBA. And that's no disrespect to them at all. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you got to understand, bro. Like, are you watching these playoffs? The Pistons don't play that sport. That's just a complete different sport, bro. Completely different. View Khalil, you know what I'm talking about.
I just want everyone to know that these are Ant's comments. These are not
bro, what you mean? Comments. We talk about this every day, bro. What you mean? Look, we talk about this every day, bro. We talk about this every day. What you mean? And you know what, bro? Because you need to understand, bro. Like Pistons fans, they deserve better. Like, they're probably one of the best fans in the entire league. What's happening with that franchise and that team right now is crazy. It's crazy, bro. Like, how do we get here? Some of the best fans, man, and like you can't keep looking at what's going on around the league, and you're seeing draft picks from the last 5 years taking their team to the conference finals. You try to tell me OKC is a West 1 seed for real? Cool, answer me. You trying to tell me, okay, them dudes are like 2 years past where they should be. Easily. What, West than the 1 seed? Come on, bro. Because of Chet and Shea? Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Let's get,
I could go on we could have a whole nother episode about them stinking it up. But the Detroit Pistons, they are not 1 draft pick away. They are not 1 trade away. They are far, far away. We got to get them to be an NBA team first. And what that takes here is you just got to honestly do what's best. And it depends on who's going to be available. It depends on who's trying to move from other teams. You know, who's coming up in free agency, what teams are trying to talk to you. But the issue with the trade is who wants your assets? Who? Ku, View, Khalil. Who wants Pistons assets? Who y'all gonna call? Hey, yo, what's up? New Orleans was good, bro. Hey, man, we got Sasser. Hello. This is 16 might hung up on us already. You know what I mean? Like,
let's just move to the next question.
They're just not going to do it, brother. They're just not going to do it. Like,
let's get to the next question.
You're handcuffed. You're handcuffed, Ku. You can't make moves.
This one.
You got no pieces. Ku, you are a knight stuck in the corner, bro. You can't move right now. You play chess, Ku? You play chess?
I don't. I don't have intentions on learning. I don't know anything about chess.
What game do you play, bro?
But what I do know, you want to know what I do know about?
What's up?
You want to know what I do know about? I know about this question from Adrian Crab.
The next question. Let's go. Cool. See, that's why you be getting them views.
So he said, Adrian Crab knows on Twitter said, "Do you share our friend Ro of the podcast, our friend of the podcast Ro? Do you share his high opinion on Johnny Furphy? Yes or no?"
Not this high. No. A little bit of bias with Australian players. I like Australian players a lot. They seem to transition very well to American basketball. So I am higher on that. One thing with Furphy, though, when he went to Kansas, he didn't really show everything that he can do. He was a true freshman. For the most part, he was playing behind McCullough and like guys like KJ Adams. So it's really hard to say, from his time at Kansas. But I'm usually high on Australian wings, and I think that he's someone who is going to be a solid get. I don't see him like a lottery, but I could definitely see a team going for him in the first for sure, 100%.
All right, so this next question was asked by about 5 different people in my comments and on Twitter. Are there any stretch bigs in this draft, and who? And when they say stretch bigs, I'm assuming they're not talking about 4s. They're talking about 5s.
I mean, Kel'el Ware is going to be able to stretch. I wouldn't count Coleman Hawkins as a stretch. Because he's more of a 4. He's more of like that point forward type. They're trying to say that Klingon can be that. I don't see it yet. Someone was like, he's like Robin Lopez. I'm like, bruh, I don't.
Brooke Lopez, bro.
Yeah, Brooke. Yeah, sorry, Brooke Lopez. Did I say Robin?
You did.
I said Robin. My bad, bro. Ratio me. I'm sorry. No, it's Khalil Ware, Sar is as well. I'm a little bullish on Sar's ability to shoot the ball, meaning that I'm convinced that he'll be able to translate. He's the perfect new age big man, in my opinion. He's like you take like Derek Lively, someone like him. I think Alex Sarr is kind of in that mold. You just got to get him a really good point forward to play alongside and play with, and it's good because he can also rim protect. I think with age and maturity, I think he'll be a real nice player in the league for sure.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. I would ask another question, but I would take a risk at Ant going for a troll.
No, ask me again, bro. Ask me again. Ask me. Go. Wait, you said 18 questions, right?
I mean, I got one more question, and we're at 41 minutes. I gotta wrap this thing up before I get in trouble.
All right, give me all of them. Come on.
All right, so I got. Oh my god, he's changing the hat again. All right, this is the last question. We gotta wrap it up here. If you guys want to know why we couldn't get to all the questions, tell Ant to stop trolling so much.
Who's trolling?
All right, so
People
they want to know
but I'm dead serious.
They want to know your opinion on Zach Edey. And would Pistons be smart in drafting Zach Edey?
At 5?
So just go ahead and answer that. I mean,
at 5,
maybe,
no.
Oh, God.
At 5, no.
Like late in the lottery, what do you think about him?
That's not
42 minutes. So
that's not good value at 5. If you wanted to trade, if you wanted to trade back, I think he sneaks in late lottery, maybe, man. He measured out really well. Like 7'5" with shoes, basically. Like an 8-foot wingspan. Like that's stupid. That's stupid, man. I cannot sit here and be a GM and take him at 5. I can't. I don't think there's a lot of value at 5. That's too much. It's too much. You're giving up too much there. He's a very high floor player. But he did just start playing basketball several years ago. So I think he has a lot more to grow for sure. But I just can't see the value at 5. I can't. I think he has a spot in the league though. Where he does go like mid-first or mid-late first, that's totally fine. But I just can't see at 5. Just can't see it.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. And
one more question. One more.
No, we can't. I'm sorry. I have to make the executive decision. We're at 43 minutes. No. It's already too long. I got to make the executive decision.
No more questions.
Hey, you're going to have to go answer them on Twitter yourself. I gotta
let the record show that I try to answer everybody's question, but View Khalil, the master of the views, said no.
So be it.
The gatekeeper.
So be it. I'll take it. Blame me.
You know what? Can I just read through the questions right now? Or no?
If Ant starts doing that, everybody, and this will be the first time in Locked On Pistons history, I have to actually mute my host or my guest. The podcast. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen every single day.
Fano over here.
I actually had to mute him. This is crazy. This is crazy. Thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen every single day. Hit that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Ant Guy, stop trolling. Follow him over on Twitter. It's Ant Wright. Does a bunch of great stuff when he's not trolling nonstop. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Till next time. Peace out, everybody.